Hi everybody. I wanted to do a video on my word of the year, which was me, and I chose it because I want to work on me this year. And I was definitely blessed with that time through the pandemic and isolation. And I'm wearing green since we're going green, and I'm excited. But before I talk about my word, which is no longer me, I mean, it is still me, but it's kind of changed due to the pandemic. And I want to discuss going green and hoping that even though we are in the green, that you are all still taking precautions, if not for yourself, for the lives of others by social distancing is still 6 feet away, wearing your masks, being polite, being mindful, and whether you care about yourself or not, wear that mask and keep your distance to protect the health of other people that are around you. And really, you don't want to be bringing home anything to your loved ones, especially if you have your grandparents or great-grandparents or an elderly aunt or uncle. You want to stay safe so that your family and your loved ones are safe. So now going back to my word. My word, me, ended up turning into surrender. And surrender, if you think about it, is definitely not easy for a lot of people, because when we surrender, we are giving up control and we are inviting a higher power in to take over. And so many people don't grasp that concept. And I do, however, there have been so many uprooting events, not just through the pandemic, but things not working out the way anyone has really wanted them to. For some people, it's been better. Some people have realized through this that they want to work from home, or they want to change their career, or they like being home with their children, or they don't like being home with their children, or maybe they just educated themselves on personal growth or spiritual growth, or had a chance to binge watch some of their favorite shows that before the pandemic we didn't get a chance to do that. For me, it was all about working on me, and that included journaling and meditating and praying and walking every day outside, depending on the weather, and trying to eat better, which I have to say I kind of slid off that rail, and I'm getting back into being more mindful about what I'm putting in my body. But surrendering for me has been actually kind of easy, because it's one of those things where you just throw your hands up in the air and go, well, you know what? I don't have control, so let's just go with the flow. It is what it is. And I surrender. Here's my white flag. I'm waving it, and I'm excited to see what happens when I just not give up, but I let go. There's a big difference in that sense. And I have to say it's been really good so far. So please remember to surrender, not give up, surrender, which is allowing a higher power to give you guidance and show you direction and give you ideas. And sometimes, most times I should say, our lives end up being better than we could have imagined if we would have followed through with what our plans were. Because higher powers' plans are always better than our own. At least that's what I think, because I've seen it firsthand, not only in my life, but in the lives of others. And that's about my surrender word. Now, going into something that happened to me this morning, I surrendered my day of what I thought my day was going to be. And when I was journaling this morning, I was kind of saying, you know what? I'm going to do whatever I feel guided to do. I was teetering between a couple things. I have had a lot to do lately, and there are days where I just need a break, and today wasn't really going to be one of them. I do have this afternoon, and I'm grateful for that, but my morning, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And I surrendered. I started my routine like I always do, starting with meditation, journaling, and praying, and then coming down and taking care of my animals. Then I start my celery juice, and that's where I was like, okay, now what? What do I do? I have had a session over the phone at 11, scheduled for 11, and I just wanted to make sure that my mind was clear. And I was thinking about going for a walk. Then I was like, you know what? I really need groceries. Do I want to cram all this in before my session? And then I remembered that a friend of mine had passed away, and she was an elderly woman from a church that I was a member of for a while when my daughter was little. And I just adore her, absolutely adore her. And I loved her sense of humor, her sassiness. The last time I ran into her was right before the pandemic. I ran into her at Dollar General, and she was very sad, and I was sad to learn that her son had passed away. And her question was, why did he have to go before me? And I hear that a lot in my sessions with people. They don't understand why they feel God took their loved one when they were younger than them and healthier than them. And we don't know when our time is up. We don't know how long we have. That's why I always say, live in the present, live each day, each moment to the fullest. And when she was standing there crying, I had no idea that her son had passed away. My heart just hurt for her. And so I gave her a hug, and I just told her that she should just hang in there and pray and have faith, and I hope that God heals her heart. And she had told me she was no longer driving. Says we used to run into each other all the time out in Hellertown on the road. Didn't matter where I was, there she was sitting in her car, or here she come. I'm sitting in my car just getting ready to get out, or I just got in and here she comes. And it's like, wow, the universe really put us in each other's path a lot when I wasn't going to that church anymore. And it just was such a delight to see her. So her viewing was this morning. And I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to have time? And it was about 9:45, and I thought I have 15 minutes to get myself together and get down the street to see her and say my final farewells in the physical sense, because I know she is with me in the spiritual sense. But I have to say, I left very sad. Part of it was feeling everybody else's emotions and seeing her family there, and then hearing that her grandson has also passed away in the last couple weeks. And I really felt that at that moment, hearing that she died of a broken heart. And she did pass away from a heart attack. And I thought, wow, she really wanted to be reunited with her loved ones. And as I'm driving home, I'm crying to myself, and I said, God, why? Why do you take the good ones? Because so many people come to me and say, why do the good people have to pass away? Like, they're here to shine their light, and they're helping, and they're making people laugh, and they're helping others with their personality and with their using their hands as God's work. And why? Why do they have to go? And I actually had that thought, and I thought, why? Why did Doris have to pass away? She was a really good person. And then a voice in my head said, everyone is good. And of course, my ego wanted to argue that, and I said, no, there is evil in the world. And the voice said, yes, but everyone is good. And so I sat down and I thought, I really have to journal about this, because I was trying to get what message that I was receiving. I wanted it to be clearer. And so what kept coming to me was we are all born from a place of love. No one comes here hating anything, fearing anything. No one comes here with worry or doubt in their mind. And so I believe that what I was getting was that we all have to get back to that place of purity and love. We don't have to pass away to get there. But so many people think that, oh, well, I wish I would just die because it's probably easier on the other side. And I have been told many times from a higher power that we can find heaven here on earth. And it's just a matter of being grateful and finding joy and embracing every moment that we have. And so many people focus on the sad parts of life and the negative experiences, which do mold us into who we become. However, we get to choose every day if we're going to take those experiences and project them in a negative way out into the universe so that they keep manifesting into our lives, or we can choose to focus on the blessings and the things we're grateful for, because we all have that. We all have things in our lives. We have a roof over our head. We have food. We have, cars to drive or feet to walk, and friends and family. And even if you feel very alone, we have so many loved ones in spirit, so many guides, so many ancestors, all of the ascended masters, Jesus, Mother Mary, Buddha, whoever you feel connected to, you are never, ever alone. And we need to get back to that place where we have to find the good within ourselves so that other people see the good within us. And that's a mission that we all want to strive for, I hope, so that this vibration of the planet can continue to be raised and we can all live more peacefully, loving each other and getting rid of all this hate, which, like I said before, we were not born with hate. We were born with love. And so I'm relaying this message from my higher power, and just remember that we are all good. There is good in everyone. It's masked by fear, worry. It's masked by things that people have experienced and, might be a negative thing, how they were raised or the experiences they're going through now, lack of faith. Maybe they weren't raised having faith. But whatever the case may be, we all have to get back to that place of realizing that there is good in everyone. And I wish you so much love and light, and have a beautiful rest of your day.